All right. So the newest movie in the Halloween franchise is Halloween Ends. Most people are saying kill it with fire. I have an opposite opinion of that. This review is going to be a little different. Normally I go through the whole plot, do everything, do this, explain what I liked, didn't like, all that stuff. I'm not going to do that. I'm basically going to talk about the trilogy as a whole a little bit and how Halloween Ends is like three tweaks away from actually being one of my favorite Halloween movies. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna say it, controversial or not, it is what it is. So first, spoilers, and two, if you're with me this far, I'm just curious about what I have to say. So thanks for being here. So first, Halloween 2018 is a modern slasher classic. It really made the legacy genre popular. It is my favorite Halloween movie. Halloween 2018 is the best. It is almost my perfect slasher movie. It did Michael Myers right, it did Jamie right. It brought all these people into the forefront 40 years after the fact in a way that actually made sense. And I went in theaters leaving just feeling like a little kid again. Like, yeah, slasher movies are back. It's going to be great. All this stuff. Then Halloween, then the world happened and Halloween Kills came out. And Halloween Kills was exactly what they said it was going to be. It's just Michael killing people. And I get why some people didn't like that. Again, I'm an 80s gore hound. I love that stuff. So for me, just seeing Michael Myers bodying 30 people through 2 hours was all I really wanted. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. And even rewatching them Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills back to back, you even see stuff. Like you see the little trick-or-treaters, you see the doctor and nurse that are at the bar in the next movie. So it feels lived in. It feels like the same night. That attention to detail is there. Um, and then you get the Halloween Ends, and it's a polar opposite movie for a lot of different reasons. But first, with production standpoint, Danny McBride, David Gordon Green, everyone involved with this movie said they wrote two movies. They ended it where they ended it in Halloween 2018 for one specific reason. They didn't know how people would react. They didn't know if it would be successful. They made a movie. So if it ended where Michael is at the end of that movie on fire, it's an ending point. You make your own ending as the viewer, which I thought was a unique idea because it is a perfect ending point if it ended there, but you could also keep going. So that's smart filmmaking. Um, but they only wrote two movies, and the studio wanted a trilogy. And this is where the problems begin for this movie, or a trilogy, I should say. Not everything needs to be a trilogy. Stop forcing trilogies. It never goes well. And the main reason it never goes well is 99% of that time, that middle movie sucks. Legitimately, if you cut out Halloween Kills, even though I like it, you could still have Halloween Ends and it's the same story effectively. Michael Myers escaped that night. The only real difference is you don't see Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter die in like you do in Halloween Kills. But other than that, you could watch Halloween and Halloween Ends, and it pretty much makes sense. You could fill in the dot. That's the only real thing that happens in Halloween Kills, and that is a problem in storytelling. But again, it's not the movie. I don't blame the movies and I don't blame the director. Again, I blame the studio. But going back to what I said, you can really see where these could have been two movies. And if you were to, this is what I think they should have done in the simplest approach. Halloween Kills, all it kills. That's great. You didn't need them all. You have Michael ransacking the town, but and what you should have called it was just Halloween Ends. Just do Halloween Ends. Movie is just Michael ransacking the town. But the beginning is you do all the Corey stuff. You do the Corey stuff the beginning of the night. Like do a time thing or something. Like Michael Myers escapes at this time. You know that from the previous movie. I think it's like 10:30 something. He's getting transferred. Corey incident happens at 9 p.m. Everyone in the town's talking about that on the news. Like you see in Halloween Kills, like breaking, they cut off the Michael Myers stuff where it doesn't make sense because they show his face in the bar, and you show local teen kills child, like with Corey accidentally killing the kid he's babysitting, and then the whole town's already in a frenzy, and you're going after Corey on top of that, and then Michael and Corey run into each other, and you talk, or not talk, but you have that transfer evil scene or whatever it is, which makes sense. And then you do everything else that you basically did in Halloween Ends, where it's Corey and he runs into Lori at the hospital after he gets beat up by the mob. She starts falling in love with him. And then what you do from there is you have a brawl between Michael and Corey. You have them go fisticuffs in a sword. That POV shot from the sword pipe I thought was cool, but you have it go longer and you don't see anything. You just have them both go in with a jumpsuit. Like Corey wants to be the new Michael Myers. Corey goes in, you hear it, you do like kind of like how you did in Daredevil, where he's going down the hallways where you don't really see what's going on, but you know what's going on kind of, and then you just have Corey come out. About the midway point of the movie, I would have done this. Corey coming out of the sword, or wherever Michael is, the lair, wherever you want to have him meet in this new hybrid movie. Corey comes out, goes, and then we're not Corey, but you see someone come out with the Michael Myers mask. I would have had it been Corey personally, but you don't know that as the viewer. You just see a person come out with a Michael Myers mask. And Michael's killing the town, killing the town, killing the town. Laurie and him have the showdown, like you're showing in all the trailers, that kind of made people mad because it was a little misleading. And what I would have done then is, after all that, Laurie rips the mask off, and we as the viewer are like, oh, we're finally gonna see Michael's face. We don't see Michael's face, we see Corey's face. Laurie shook, kills him. Laurie gets killed by Corey. And then you have go on and be Corey, be the new Michael Myers. And honestly, it would work really well because the original title for the OG Halloween was The Babysitter Murders. And you could have had this guy be the babysitter murderer. And even then, you could have given him his own mask, could have done something, because the whole time in Halloween Ends, he's wearing the mask, the Scarecrow mask, and he's teaming with Michael Myers and stuff. I think the problem with the way the Halloween Ends was executed wasn't it so much it was a bad movie, is people, one, it was mismarketed. You really hyped this Laurie Michael showdown, which is the end of the movie, which is fine. And honestly, you really can tell it was two movies. But even if you did a Halloween Ends, the way I wish you really should have done Halloween Ends at this point is the way you're marketing this Michael Laurie showdown to subdue expectations is straight up just do it in the beginning. Honestly, like, you would have saved so much time to just flip the script and have Michael and Laurie's showdown be the beginning of the movie, and then have the rest of the movie be the Corey character and Laurie living through. Because you as the viewer are like, well, what the fuck is going on? Because you just threw Mike Myers in a goddamn wood chipper. How are we going to have another hour and a half of a runtime? Because that last showdown is only 20 minutes. But like, imagine that. You flip the whole movie on its script. The ending with Laurie and Michael fighting, and then the rest of the movie is the Corey stuff. But the only difference I would make again is I would have had Corey live. Like, I don't understand why they killed this character. You spend 2 hours with this character, interested about what's going to happen, thinking the evil is going to transfer, finally doing what you should have done with Halloween 4 and 5 back in the day with, what's her name? Danielle Harris's character, Jamie, which also named after Jamie Lee Curtis. Fun little Easter egg there. To just not do it, to get cold feet at the ending, which blew my mind. Like, that's my biggest problem with Halloween Ends, is if you're going to do the Corey Cunningham character, which I think was executed well as much as no one wanted it, and 5-6 years from now, we're going to be talking about how great this movie is, and I want to be ahead of the curve, so haha, I have video evidence. You do it. You don't chicken out. You don't kill him in the final act. Like, I think that was a bad call from whoever made that call. And on top of that, I don't know why the Michael Laurie showdown was at the end, because again, as a viewer, you're waiting and waiting and waiting for Michael Myers to do something. He just doesn't do it. But again, this trilogy should have been 2 movies, and legitimately is about 4 or 5 tweaks of being perfect. And let's be real, as much as everyone wants to pretend Halloween Ends is bad, it's the best timeline. It's the most coherent timeline, because what do you have? You have the first timeline, which is Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, which doesn't even explain how Loomis is alive, let alone Michael Myers is alive. They just skipped right over that. Halloween 5 and 6, that Thorn stuff, that starts to get convoluted. I've watched those 6 a million times. It makes no sense. And even then, Halloween 5, you have that ending with the Jamie character killing the mom only to go nowhere with it. So that timeline annoys me. Then you have the H2O timeline, which is great until you do the resurrection stuff with Busta Rhymes and Dangertainment. And although as entertaining it is for Busta Rhymes to come in and say, trick or treat, motherfucker, and start brawling with Michael Myers, not a good movie. Let's stop pretending it is, people, please. It's entertaining. I'll give it entertaining. Good. Anyway, Halloween 3, which took 40 years for people to appreciate what that was. So, again, time will tell if Halloween Ends. The Rob Zombie movies, which I do actually really enjoy that first Rob Zombie movie, but H2 is borderline unwatchable depending on which cut you watch. I'm sorry. It's true. And then you have this timeline. So again, if we want to cut out Resurrection, the 1-2 H2O timeline is the superior, but because that's part of it, I'm sorry, this is the best timeline. This is the most coherent timeline. And Lori actually got a happy ending. Like, she's been dealing with the guilt and trauma for 40 years, and she finally has a happy ending again with her and the sheriff at the end of the movie, her acting like a little kid flirting with him in the grocery store. Like I'm just happy to finally see a final girl not go out like a wrestler and lose. Like I'm just happy to see them get somewhere, to do something. Like, if nothing else, if this is the closure arc for Jamie Lee Curtis's character as Laurie Strode, it's a good closure arc for her. It was never about Michael Myers. This whole trilogy was never about Michael Myers. It was about Laurie Strode coming to terms with her demons. Hell, every time it even comes up where Michael's after me, he never was. Even in this movie, he didn't want Laurie. He wanted his fucking mask back. And that's because Corey stole it somehow, which was weird because the only reason for a 4-year time jump in this movie is to make him weak enough for Corey to body him. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless the evil was so powerful when it got transferred to him. I don't know. Again, there's a few issues I do have with Halloween Ends. I'm not going to sit here and say it's perfect. But I do like how they had the ability to do something different, and it was entertaining. Like, I liked it. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people were waiting for Michael Myers to show up, and I know a lot of people were really mismarketed by this movie, and they were. Like I'm not going to lie. Like, if you went in expecting that, I get you're upset. But I highly recommend a rewatch, and I highly recommend watching them all in order because it is good. And if you're really upset by how this trilogy went, another one that you can watch is called Halloween Inferno. I'm gonna get to eventually on this. It's a fan film. It's on YouTube for free. It takes place directly after Halloween 2018, and is fantastic. It's about an hour. Production looks amazing. It looks like a real movie, and it's the second timeline after Halloween 2018 because, of course, there's always timelines with this franchise. But yeah, no, like, that close to being coherent. Should have really only been 2 movies. It is what it is, but still probably the best timeline. But let me know what you think. If you hated it, if you liked it, if you want to kill it with fire, if you think it deserves that 30% or whatever the hell it is on Rotten Tomatoes, which is again why Rotten Tomatoes is garbage, let me know. But tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell me what you thought, comment how I'm wrong, anything in between. But again, above all else, guys, be good people. Happy Halloween, and I'll talk to you later.